Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It depends on wherever you are. The title of my presentation is Evolvement of Minaret in Muslim Medieval History, a case study of Minaret of Jam. My main argument is it's intended to briefly examine how Minaret has evolved in Muslim medieval history, with particular focus on factors that contributed to shaping Minaret of Jam. Significant of this study is Minarets were not originally were originally absent in Muslims in early mosques, but it was added and evolved to symbolize Islam and serve practical purposes like call for prayer. The main focus of the case study as Minaret of Jam was built for religious and political legitimacy, and there were different factors in shaping the minaret architecturally. Regarding Muslim medieval mosque in more details, the first mosque was built as a means for expressing the first minaret was built for expressing religion and serving as a sign of presence of Islam in a region. Although there are other reasons that they have been argued that the minaret is not only for call for prayer or presence of Islam, but there have been also political aspects like Minaret of Jam that I will come and discuss in a minute. Diab argues that minaret was invented by Muslim architect to alleviate muezzin to call for prayer above all other voices, although that hasn't been the case. For example, in case of minaret of the Umayyad mosque that I will come and discuss in a minute. Two, it goes also back that the minarets goes back to ancient Rome and as well as pre-Islamic India, which is where there have been memorial pillars, which is known as a stamba. And regarding the Prophet Mosque, which has been the first mosque built during the Prophet's lifetime, and that can be argued that it doesn't have any minaret, and there weren't any kind of minaret during the life of the Prophet, but it was during Umayyads that the Umayyad Caliph asked the Emperor of Byzantine so to build the Prophet Mosque or to just add some aspects or some features to the mosque in order to make it enlarged or more beautiful. So originally there was no minarets in the Mosque of the Prophet, so that can be due to other civilizations that was incorporated by Umayyad as well as by Abbasid dynasties that they added in order to signify Islamic presence and call for prayer. Regarding the styles, there have been various styles. The most prominent ones are Mesopotamia, Persia, and later other Islamic empires. As I mentioned that there have been minarets in the Umayyad Mosque, it is believed that it was a Christian church or probably it was a temple. Whatever it was, it had minaret and it was converted during Umayyad to mosque. And then that was the legacy from the previous temple. And it remained, and as it was mentioned, the minarets were used for call for prayer, but probably one of them was used to call for prayer, not all of them. So there have been several minarets which has been discussed, and it has been the prominent aspect of the mosque of that time. However, it was during the Abbasid in 3rd or 9th century that Malwiya single twisted minaret emerged, and they adapted by Umayyad and Al-Andalus as well. However, it was challenged by Shia dynasties such as Zaydis and Fatimids, as they cited a tradition of their first Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib to call for prayer from the rooftop or by replacing tower with the towers with monumental portal. In Persia, or the Persian-speaking world, or in the Iranian walls, where the greater Iran pyramids appears, which is another aspect of the architecture in terms of involvement of Minaret of in Muslim medieval history, as it can be seen here. For example, there are been two minarets before entering the mosque and two minarets while getting to the mosque. And this is Isfahan, in the Imam or in the Shah mosque, and it can be clearly seen that it has been different from the minarets that have been in the mosques during Umayyads as well as during Abbasids. This has been during Seljuk, as Seljuks, they have been ruling over the Iranian world, and also Iran appeared just between the two minarets and the minaret itself. It has been discussed by that it was signifying paradise, as mosque is a way to get to paradise through worshiping God, for example. And also, as the Safavids, they were Shia, and the other dynasties before them, such as Seljuks and Timurids, they were Sunni. So that has been adapted by both Shia and Sunnis in their mosque, and there have been any kind of what is known as Sunni or Shia differentiations in terms of mosques and minarets. Regarding the other aspect, architectural diversity of minarets, in more details, Diab discusses that, for example, there have been different styles, such as the Umayyad style, Abbasid style, and Persian style. So this seems that's not only chronologically, but also in terms of geography, there have been different styles that might be due to the context or due to the cultural aspects that the mosque was built. So regarding the Umayyad style, consider the oldest style. One of its most important feature of each or the base takes a form which is closer to quadrilateral shape, a huge structure, thick wall, and various balconies, which the muezzin ascends to. Regarding the Abbasid style, the most affected by the architecture of the Mesopotamian civilization, especially the ziggurat architecture, which is characterized by circular cylindrical protections, limited balcony, the height increased and smooth surface in the exterior with decoration and many features. Regarding the Persian style, the most prominent features are that it contains the pointed arches, what is known as muqarnas, or also in Persian it's known as awpai, like this one, the demon, the pointed arches for decorative or the structural purposes, in addition to its various decorations and sculptures. This is the Umayyad mosque with several minarets, although they have been built, or they have been, for example, restored, or they have been polished, have been evolved by different dynasties, but it can be seen that at least there have been several minarets. The Abbasid, only one single minaret, and the pier minarets, it means there is not only one pier minaret, but there can be more than that in the Persian-speaking world. A case study of Minaret of Jam. Regarding Minaret of Jam, it was built during Ghurid when they were ruling from eastern part of Iran to northern India in 12th century, and there have been cultural impacts as it was built in a Persian-speaking land, and so that can be also due to the architectural style that have been affected by architectural style of previous dynasties such as Ghaznavids, which I will come and discuss later. And this has been mainly built as a kind of political rule, or what's known as for commemoration when the Ghurid they could overcome Ghaznavids. And this is the second tallest big minaret globally, notably for intricate terracotta and calligraphy, as there have been various extensive Quranic inscription, intricate brickwork, the use of geometric pattern. Also, this symbolized not only religion, but religion, expression, and political power, what is known as legitimizing their political power through religion. The minaret of Jam is, in terms of its architecture, looks like a mosque. It is believed that, like the mosques that have been in Sistan and Ghazna, they were attached to the minarets were attached to the mosque, and that can be the similar case. However, it has been quite difficult to rationalize it because it has been around 65 meters high, and that's difficult for the muezzin to convey the message, for example, or the voice could not be reached to people who are around that. Also, there have been no sign or any other archaeological aspects that can be traced that the minaret was built and it was attached to a mosque. So it is discussed that whether it was built for when the Ghurid they could overcome Ghusturk in Ghazna. Also, there is other reason that when they occupied India and it was for encouraging or a kind of challenging Hindus, the farmer seems to be more stronger, but still there have been a kind of confusion about the date, as in Arabic, for example, this in 1970. It's written quite similar, and it has been difficult to trace that which one. Maybe 570, what is known as 1174 or 75, that can be the correct one. This is the topest part where the photo has been taken, top part of the minaret. And also, as it was discussed, that the minaret has been a kind of adapted certain features of the Ghaznavid architecture. For example, this minaret is constructed of pigmented and occasional wooden cores that consist of three superimposed cylindrical shaft. This means this part, this, and this one, that they are three cylindrical shafts or cylindrical parts, decreasing great mouth and octagonal skull. So also regarding the muqarnas, this is what discussed, and the minaret has the similar architecture that a mosque has, and that might be the other reason that some people argue, some scholars argue. Regarding the theological and political symbolism, as for example, the Kufic style has been used because that was the first style in terms of Arabic writing, and also Muslim confession, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Also, the name of the Sultan Ghiyath Muhammad bin Isam, as well as the name of the architect has been written. That can be the other way, that it can be a kind of Quranic and religious expressions that's been used. As also there have been Quranic verses such as from Surah Maryam, verses 34 and 35, that can be a kind of theological debate through architecture. It is that time the Ghurid emperor, the Ghurid ruler, adapted Karamiya version of Sunni Islam, where they were challenged. That's a kind of similarity, or a kind of attributing them to Christianity, and this verse was written that they were denying the divinity of Jesus, and that can be the other aspect, that like in the Dome of the Rock, for example, Surah Al-Ikhlas has been written, that can be a kind of challenge to the Christians by Muslims. The other concern or challenge is that the mandate has not been restored. That can be due to the challenges were the mountainous area that's someone can reach there, where the in charge organizations can restore it. That can this is due to earthquake, that some break of the mandate uh, falling down, and also the flood is the other challenge. So generally, it can be said that the minorities have evolved over Muslim history. It has different functions, such as Minaret of Jam, which was mainly for political and religious factors. Were That's why they were adapted.
Thank you.